Hello there, this is Ron Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Today, I want to talk about the 5 levels of a player. The 5 levels of a player. Now, the reason I'm doing this is for fun. Let me just get that out of the way. I'm doing this one for fun. It ain't that deep. I don't want anybody like coming in the comments, saying, so and so said it's this way. It's like, look, sometimes just going through this whole thing, this whole game, sometimes you gotta kind of take some things with a grain of salt, and sometimes you just gotta laugh at some things. And, you gotta have some fun, right? So, anyway, these player levels. mm. Yeah, so, and I'm gonna make this interesting because I ain't gonna do it just on just a shared numbers game, because you get some dudes out there, they have sex with a lot of women, but they messing with a bunch of like ones and twos. They like the king of the trolls and whatnot. It's like they monster hunting and whatnot. It's nah. This is, to make this more interesting, this is based on success with beautiful women, like 8, 9s, and 10s. All right, let's have some fun with it. So anyway, here are the levels. Player level 1. They think they have game. They're extremely lucky. Now, they'll hook up with a beautiful woman like once or twice, like in a 10-year period. And not even that beautiful, maybe like on the lower end of an 8 or something. Or maybe one of those adjustable 7s. But whatever it is, they lucky. And, they'll talk a lot of smack, and, somebody who doesn't know any better think they have some game or something because they see the dude talking with a beautiful woman. But to be honest, most of the time these dudes are in the like friend zone, and the beautiful woman they hook up with is, quite frankly, one of those women who got some psychological issues that might be kind of easy. But they think they have game. They got with that fine ass woman, even though that fine ass woman let about 15 other dudes hit it. In a train too. So anyway, player level 1, they basically luck. It really is luck. They think they have game. Women just looking at them funny. So that's that. Player level 2. Now this the cat. They'll read the books. They'll read the books, underline those joints. Watch the movies. That's the type of cat who will watch that movie from back in the day by Bill Bellamy. It was called How to Be a Player. These are cats that watch that movie and take it seriously, be taking notes and whatnot. Probably got it on DVD somewhere, or downloaded it from the internet. They'll listen to other players who are at level 2. Now these are more intellectual cats and stuff, though. They weren't around any real true to the game players. And these are cats, they basically play a numbers game. It just come down to it. It's just an old school numbers game. If they hit on enough fine women, some of them gonna come through. And they'll try that stuff that they read in the books and see in the movies. But the thing is, it ain't so much they winning, but they just persistent. So anyway, but they get a fine woman, nice booty every now and then. Think they the man. The woman might even hang out with him for a bit. Usually like the adjustable 7s or even adjustable 6s. Women who can go to 8 sometime. So anyway, that's player level 2. Player level 3. Dudes at this level got like a gimmick or a niche. They're able to get women because of their environment, their profession. These are athletes, movie stars, musicians. These are guys basically dealing with groupies. See, one thing, and this a part of a game that nobody really talks about. There's like different professions, different things you do that just have groupies. You know, we know about the groupies that athletes have, movie stars have it. You know what? Local musicians have it. Those from the DC area know about go-go music. You know, if you keep your ears open, you always hear about the women who will sleep with somebody just because they, play go-go. You know, Wall Street bankers got groupies, and traders have groupies. You go on a college campus, the frats got groupies. That's just that they just in a niche. Now, if you take those dudes out of a niche, they really can't do anything with a woman. Because they not really getting a woman just based on who they are, but they based on their professional, their status, what they represent. And yeah, they're gonna get some beautiful women. Yeah, it's strong. Like I said, it strongly depends on like athletes. A lot of those dudes know they blow their knee out, or they don't get that contract extension. That woman disappear with the quickness, or like the musicians. Well, I don't know. Musicians are different because I know some dudes got like garage bands and stuff, and they were like, yeah, I do it for the women. But even then, that could have some limits. So, as long as a person's in that niche to have a certain type of woman, they're good to go. And I put that at a higher level than the first two, because of their profession or whatever their niche is, they're gonna get a steady stream of women, steady stream of groupies. So, but hey, you getting some women going ass up. Hey, you ain't gonna argue with it. Hell, there's some YouTubers could probably get some groupies. Hey, y'all know it. Anyway, let me keep going. Alright. Player level 4. Yeah, that's the true to the game. That's the player people know about. That's the ladies' man. That's the Mac. This dude, he can successfully talk to women, can wine and dine them, can get sex from women of his choice on a regular basis. He might miss out here and there, but not on a regular. That dude put his mind on a woman, or recognize she chose him. He got his thing. He got out. It's not limited to certain types of women. He can go wherever. And there might be a limit here and there, and like I said, there's always a woman not feeling him, but for the most part, he getting his. He's a ladies' man. Shoot. In fact, he's the type might be complaining about women, and not that they ain't giving him play, but that they getting on his nerves. Dude trying to just chill out, watch the game, and she trying to come over and clean the place up. This is where Mr. Goodbar resides. Anyway, the 5th level, that's the highest level of a player. Y'all ever watch that Japanese anime show, Dragon Ball Z? If y'all watch it, I know what a Super Saiyan is. That's what player level 5 is. I mean, this dude even beyond the alpha male, even beyond that ladies' man. At this level, that dude don't even have to go out. That dude like a high level leader of a drug cartel. You only got to work 2 or 3 days a year or something. He don't have to do anything. At that level, he ain't trying to holler at women. They trying to get at him. He don't have to lose any game. He walk down the street. Women just trying to. The panties just coming off. That dude say hi to a woman and she getting wet. That dude accidentally brush against a woman, she popping 2 orgasms right there. Women gonna constantly flirt with this dude. They gonna ask him out. When you at that level, you ain't seducing women. You just submitting. You just surrendering. You just letting it happen. But you got total control over it. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of guys, it's hard to imagine for a lot of guys. It's abstract. They used to chasing women. But at that highest level, women constantly chasing you. And it's not the same as with the groupie thing. You know, even with the groupies, you know, guy, he gotta have some game still. He still gotta have some game. You know, and he still got some level of control. You know, the Super Saiyan, the dude at the highest level, shit. That dude, he don't have to be in any profession. In fact, he might not care. That dude could be a millionaire, and that woman might not think about it for years. You don't even think to ask him, cause he won't even have to spend money. She gonna come out. She'll save money to take him out. You know, like women, if they can't, this how deep it is. These are dudes that send women to therapy. You got women thinking about them years later, and I'm gonna tell you how deep it is. They don't even need to be that good in bed with women, even though the sex thing is a part of it. Shoot, be the best sex a woman ever had, and dude just sit there and be yawning and shit. Because a lot of it, and you know, let's get serious for a minute. A lot of a woman's orgasm is within herself, but that's a totally other video. Anyway, the thing about this dude at that highest level, he don't have any real limitations. You know, he don't have he can go anywhere on the planet and pull. You know, because the women go and find him that attractive, and it's going to be a combination of looks, personality, how he carries himself, his aura. You know, he don't even have to say anything. When you at that level, like I said, women come right to you. You can just sit there. You go in a corner and sit there. That's the level of like true sexual magnetism. Now I know some people say, "Well, that's impossible." You know, nah, it ain't common. But you do have some dudes on that level. I probably in my lifetime met about shit, maybe 10, 15 dudes like seriously on that level. Like, you know, yeah, I mean it's a wonder to behold. But anyway, that's it. Want to have a little fun with it. You know, take it. You know what? Don't take it for what it is. You know, a little bit of fun. All right. Except for that last one, that's some real shit though. But that's something else we gotta get into. But other than that, you know, don't be running out trying to say, "Well, I'm just at level 2, I'm at level 4, or I'm at level 1." Nah, you are where you are. You know, and this is just something. Cause for real, and I wasn't there, and I'm real serious about that last level. You do got some dudes like that, but they so rare. I don't even count them in my categories in my books and stuff. To be honest, they on something else. You know, they just on something else. In fact, if you were to ask these dudes what type of game they use or anything like that, they don't really even have a concept of game. They really don't. You be talking to. In fact, if they read it to a woman, they actually had to do some work. They be lost. Like I'm just being dead serious. But like I said, these dudes are so rare. It don't really matter. Rest of y'all need game. So anyway, that was a little fun for today. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.